Welcome to The Complete Musician, creativity at its core, exploring innovative musical ideas, thoughts, and techniques for the modern musician in today's society, with your hosts, James Nagus and Drew Phillips.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back to another episode, whatever you're going to call it, of The Complete Musician. I'm James.
I'm Drew.
And I know every single time we do these, we say we're not going to timestamp them because we never know when these are going to get edited and when they're going to get released. But today was a kind of a weird day.
It's been a weird couple of days.
A weird couple of days, couple of weeks. And so this is our, drum roll, COVID special.
I didn't know you were going to call it that.
I don't know. However you say it.
It's a really weird time. I mean, at this point, I am still in school completely. Like, nothing's been canceled. Nothing's been done. But that is not the case for, like, 95% of our colleagues and you.
Right. I mean, just today we had, when I woke up this morning, it was just before noon, we finally heard from our institution that things would resume as normal on Monday. And that was going against the trend of a lot of schools, like you said. And then, not like 3 hours later, we get another email that's like, actually, just kidding. Classes are suspended for the next 2 weeks.
What? It's crazy.
So
I just,
we're
not going to enforce our opinions on
right.
what we think and
right.
what we believe this actually is, although you can probably read the lines or between the lines on, the sarcasm, the heavy sarcasm. But
well, we do sarcasm as sarcasm is just, it's, I don't know, a defense mechanism from fear.
Sure, that's what it is. I'm terrified. And
we're not those kind of doctors to give that kind of advice. Instead, we're the kind of doctors that give good musical advice. That's what we've done. That's what we do.
That's what we do.
And that's what we're going to do today. So what I thought we'd actually do is, because with all of these classes being canceled or moved online, there's been a lot of discussion lately on, well, how exactly are we going to do that? How do we take applied lessons, recitals? How do we move this online? So what I thought we'd do is we just talk about it. We talk about it in a completely serious way, give some really good suggestions. So let's just jump right in. I mean, the elephant in the room here is the lesson situation, like one-on-one lessons. If they're canning one-on-one face-to-face meetings, what do we do in lieu of that? So,
well, I mean, obvious thoughts that come to mind that, the administration and the things that would make sense, higher ups would want us to use are things like Zoom and Skype and, recording and sending back and forth, our students, and maybe even do some live things, despite the fact that people may live in other time zones and that their schedules don't match up. And that is probably what they'd want us to do, but I don't know if that's the best answer.
I don't think it is. I don't think they're really equipped to know what's best for us and for our students. So
I agree.
I'll propose the first thing that I think.
All right.
I mean, I think there's a big problem with distance learning. Like that's the issue here is the space.
Agreed.
We can do podcasting far apart, but in terms of music, that's the issue. And the issue is contact. So what I propose is that we still do lessons, but we wear those big biohazard suits, like when handling, radioactive material.
Yeah. What's the is like the 2319 from Monsters Inc.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. Like
so
that.
If we wore those, I don't think they would get in the way of the instrument too much. I'm still trying to figure out where the mouthpiece would go, but that doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about that.
I think that the obvious answer there is there would have to be a little tiny hole in the suit, but you'd never be able to put the instrument down. You would only have to hold it at that exact place.
Because
so then the mouthpiece,
you
can't have a breach. You cannot have a breach in the air. It cannot get in because obviously it's contaminated and infected. You cannot do that.
So you have to have it like on a rig and it just
Yep.
kind of goes with you the
No,
whole time.
you have to hold it. You literally have to hold it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no case.
Yeah.
Nope, you don't put it in a case anymore. Not in this dire situation.
I think that would work, and then we could still have lessons in our studios.
Agreed.
We could still
You still
see our
travel.
colleagues, still travel.
Yeah, everyone would be a little androgynous, but you wouldn't know
You know what?
exactly who
wouldn't
you're
have-
speaking to.
You would not have the societal pressures of clothing, of any kind of like difference in appearance, because we would all be unified.
It is pure equality right there. I agree.
I don't know. I think that's one kind of route we could go.
I agree. I think you actually touched on another one that's really nice when you said distance learning. So you're right. That's true. But distance between the teacher and the student, I think encourages work on dynamics. So I think what the obvious solution is to align. So let's say that one of my students lives in, South Dakota. So if she and I were to have a lesson, then I would say, okay, you need to face in a general southeastern direction. Stand on the highest peak that you can.
Well,
I will
make sure
also
the bell's facing in that direction.
Oh, that's true. And this is a trumpet player, so I would say right. And so I will say I will go to my highest point, which for me would be a local mountain. And
what about your route?
You have to get to the highest point.
Okay.
Because resonance, and tall and harmonics. It's science. I don't know. You wouldn't understand. So she will go and sit on the highest peak there, and I would say, okay, at this time you're going to start playing, and then I will give you critique. And I will sit up there and I will listen. And if her sound doesn't reach me, obviously
it's not loud enough.
Obviously need more dynamics. Obviously it's not loud enough. She needs to project.
How are you
project
going to reach the ears of that dedicated concert patron who's been going for years and years and years? But, maybe likes to sit up in the nosebleeds, or maybe has like a little bit of hearing damage or hearing loss.
He could have forgotten to turn up his hearing aid for one particular concert, and you need to reach his poor little eardrum that is affected by age or whatever other trauma has occurred in his life. You need to reach him.
Well, I think this really goes back to the origins of communication. I mean, it's simple. Like smoke,
yes.
Cavemen would use smoke to communicate.
Yes.
And then we use drums, which would echo across mountains and ravines and caverns. And
true.
I don't know what they were doing in caverns with drums. It would be pretty loud. But this is just like the most obvious choice.
Yes. You go to your highest place and you work on your dynamics, namely the loud ones. And if I can't hear from South Dakota, we obviously need to work on projection. That is, I think, a great solution.
Yeah. Another one I was thinking is just the fact of, because everyone's obsessing, well, one thing they're obsessing with is toilet paper, and I still don't get that.
That's baffling to me.
But the other thing is hand sanitizer. So finding ways to keep clean, soaps, sanitizers. So I'm trying to think, if we replace our oil in our horns with hand sanitizer,
we would be so clean. Yeah.
And not only that, but think about it. They say that this is kind of airborne, this virus.
It's true.
Think about if it was going through your trumpet, through your horn. What comes out the bell? It's clean.
Always.
It's gone. In fact, it's a filter.
I think this is actually a pro tip that many professional players use to get what we call a clear and pure tone. Obviously, when we say pure tone, that's shortening it for Purell.
Purell. Yes.
Exactly. And I don't think many of our students understand that. I don't think they realize when we say, I want your pure tone, or when we say clear tone, it's like Clearasil that you use on your face. It clears it up. Just like clears zits off your face, it clears up your tone. So
I never thought about that. I didn't realize that our students wouldn't get that.
Yeah, it's one of those things we learn in our secret doctorate classes that, we're not really allowed to tell anyone. But, oops, I guess I spilled the beans.
There's always those things. What did you wish you learned at school? But the better question is, what did you learn that you can't say?
Right.
And that's just it. It's Fight Club. You just can't talk about it.
Right. So everyone listening, you are privy to very important information. So when we say pure tone, clear tone, we really mean that you need to be putting these products into your instruments because they will come out the other end.
Yeah. I have another idea, unless you have one too.
Ooh, no, go ahead. I'd love to hear your idea.
So let's just say you're resigned to the fact that we have to do a Skype lesson like that.
Okay.
You're just in your heart, you know that is the path towards success.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What happens if you didn't pay your internet bill, or say your student doesn't have internet? The obvious solution is you go to a public Wi-Fi hotspot. I'm thinking like a McDonald's. I'm thinking like a Barnes and Noble.
I like it. A Chick-fil-A.
Yes.
Serenade everyone and get your lesson in.
Yeah, exactly. You can place your order at Chick-fil-A, and well, actually, no, they're really fast. I was going to say you could get a couple scales, but you get like half of a scale.
Yeah, if we're needing to go slow, we need to go Wendy's.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really where we need to go.
So, okay, maybe Wendy's.
Okay. If they have free Wi-Fi.
I'm thinking even slower. Like
Arby's?
Well, I'm thinking like TGI Fridays, maybe.
I keep going.
I'm just thinking of really slow places. What takes forever?
The Cracker Barrel
Cracker Barrel
takes forever.
Yeah, that could work. Maybe. Do they have free Wi-Fi at the DMV?
They should.
You could get in a master class then.
Oh boy, you could. That would take
And
so
just think
long. I could learn
happy
so
you would
much.
make everyone there. They would love it. You
They
brought
would
your
love
trumpet and you just practice Petrushka. They would love it.
You're just sitting in the line, number 39. Wow, it's just so happy and uplifting.
Yeah, and so
I
you
like
do your
that
Skype
idea.
lesson in a public hotspot.
I like that idea. And sidebar, just as you mentioned TGI Fridays, let me just tell you about the wonderful TGI Fridays we have here in Lynchburg. That is a couple streets over from where I lived. I learned the other day that it closed down. Sad, right? Well,
I know, right? You figure someone just decided it was time to pass on the franchise. Maybe they lived a long and fulfilling life and retired.
But, well, it closed and it didn't tell its employees.
Oh.
Yeah, it was, they showed up and it was like, sign on the door, we're closed forever.
And then the one health inspector showed up and said, "Oh, rats."
Rats. Yep, just like Arby's. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway, so I'm thinking about what you're saying. You're right. What if you don't pay the Wi-Fi bill? Well, then you've got to get your sound and you've got to get your stuff to your teacher, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the obvious solution, there are two ones that I think of. One, okay, you and your student, you have to get red Solo cups.
Okay.
You have to get a
I
really
see where you're
long
going with this. I
string
see where you're going.
twine, and you need to play into one end so that your teacher or student can hear the other end. That's one solution. That would be a little bit of a stretch with the twine.
Only because I think you have to each be in a treehouse for that to work. Is that true?
Maybe in the South. It was only when I lived in Oregon. That's what we did, and it was fine on the ground. But I don't know. But I was, transmitting to Wisconsin, so who knows up there in the Great White North. But the other thing is, of course, everyone down here in the South, of course, and we live in the South. Mm-hmm. Everyone has
just
mason jars. We have mason jars. So all you really have to do is play into your mason jar and seal it up real tight, and then mail it to your teacher.
Smart.
Because as soon as they open it, your beautiful sounds, if anything in cartoons have taught me anything, it's that as soon as you unseal that, you'll get the message.
How much sound, are we talking, how many minutes can one standard mason jar fit?
Well, as you know, that depends on the size of the mason jar and the amount of moonshine that you've made.
True.
And drunk out of it.
True. Yeah, I mean, that also changes your overall pitch. So if you're transposing and you want to be a little bit lower, you just drink more of the mason, of the moonshine, and then play into it.
Yes.
Okay.
That's true.
I like that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The mail would take a little bit longer, but as long as you pay, for next day delivery, and
well, I mean, okay, hold on. Money bags. Do you know how much that costs these days? The USPS overnight, it's like $1 million. So media mail for $2.77, you can send media through USPS, and you get tracking information and everything. Now, it may take up to 7 years, but at least you won't take out a mortgage.
Wait, hold on 1 minute. I think we're confusing things. Like, you're saying USPS as in, like, people. See, I'm talking about USPS, United States Pigeon Service.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm talking about. And see, pigeons, as we know, birds can carry very heavy loads, especially swallows. They can carry things like coconuts. So I'm pretty sure that if I fill a mason jar that's like half full of moonshine, half full of a sound, and give it to a pigeon, I'm pretty sure he can carry it wherever I want. And if I pay that pigeon in birdseed, I'm not wasting money.
Do you have to have birdseed on the receiving end? Like, you take a taxi cab. You don't pay the taxi before you leave.
I don't know.
Is it one of those, like, you get, what if you get it from your student, and then the bird says, like, pay up, schmuck. But it, like a collect call, it just was too much. Can you send it back?
Well, they are rude. You're right. I don't know. I do know in Harry Potter that you had to give the owl something for it to return, like some money, like a gold.
Can you give it like a stick of gum?
I don't know. In Harry Potter, you had to give him like a knut or a stinkle or whatever those little money things are. I don't remember, but you may have to. Pigeons are very rude. They are from New York City. I mean, New York. They're rude.
Yeah. Just don't talk to them, because then they'll just...
They'll run over your dog.
Your neighbor and your dog. Speaking of which, I don't know. Do you have any other ideas, or do you want to go to commercial break?
I think those are really solid ideas. That I mean, if we do go to this, then I think that these are all solid plans. We may have to invent more. As I mean, the pigeons may go on strike.
It's true. Are they unionized?
I don't think so. After the great pigeon strike of 1924, I think they've really disbanded.
Well, then
but
that's good news.
We may run out of mason jars. We may red Solo cups are probably at an all-time low at this point. So
yeah,
and string, cats and those cat people get all that stuff. You never know. But I think for now, that's a pretty good one. So I think we can go to commercial.
Okay. Well, here is one of our sponsors.
Hi, I need a ride to the library at the corner of 5th and Fountain Street.
Does this sound like you?
Are you tired of dealing with crabby cabbies?
Get out of the way, Jake! I'm gonna run over your neighbor and your dog!
Are you too mainstream to use Uber?
Nah.
Well, lucky for you, there's a new ride in town.
Ride of the Valkyries.
The newest taxi service in town.
Download our app or give us a ring. Cycle.
Our cars are gassy, and all our drivers are named Richard Wagner.
Call us toll expensive at 1-800-555-Gotterdammerung.
This app and service has never existed and will never exist because that is absurd, and no one has the patience and time to listen to the whole ring cycle anyway, and is not affiliated with anyone, anything ever, and is not an official sponsor of the Complete Decision podcast.
And we're back from our commercial break.
Welcome back, everybody.
So we always like to end or play some kind of game. So I have a game for us to play.
We do. Yeah, I mean, we usually just like to end with levity because usually the first parts of our podcast are serious.
We had a very serious first part. Yes.
Yes.
Lots of helpful tips.
So what's our game?
So we're going to do some learning today.
Ooh, good.
Well, we're maybe not learning, but we're going to get more educated.
Okay.
So one of the things that I really enjoy is I really enjoy things that are ridiculous and a little silly. And
No.
I know, it's surprising. I know. But one of my favorite things I like to listen to, other than, you know me, I love listening to classical music. It's like on my playlist all the time. Just endless amounts of horn and all that.
You actually put so much classical music on your first gen iPod that it exploded.
We did, and that's why I don't listen to it anymore. So this time, the other thing I like to listen to is I like to listen to mainstream music that's sometimes a little out there, a little different. Maybe not like contemporary classical music, not like that, you know, the serious stuff, but more mainstream kind of poppy kind of music. So some of the stuff I like to listen to has some kind of silly band names. So today what we're going to do is we're going to play a game where I'm going to tell you a band name that may or may not be real. And it's your job to decide whether or not it's a real or made-up band name.
Okay. Is that the only part, or do I also get to guess like what type of music or what their songs might be, or?
Yes, I would love for you to do that. So,
okay, because I know a lot about this stuff.
Yeah, I know. I know this isn't going to be a fun game for you, but I hope our listeners will enjoy this. Yes, you can decide. No matter what, if you guess it's real, then you have to tell me what genre, and then you have to tell me at least 3 songs that they'd write. Okay. All right. So there are 11 of these.
Okay.
So there's a pretty equal number of real ones and band names that I made up.
Okay.
So number 1 on this list, and if they're real, I'll also like play a clip of it just so you can hear it.
Oh, is that legal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's all on like Bandcamp.
Oh, okay.
That is not. Wait. That is not a foreshadowing of the quality. That is not. Or
Bandcamp is a legitimate distribution method.
It might be. Anyway, okay. Here's our first one. Number 1. The band Pumpkin Surprise.
Pumpkin
Real?
Surprise?
Yep. Real or fake?
That is not a band. That is a Starbucks drink.
You're right. It's not a real band. I made that.
Oh, I know. I told you. I know.
You're
this
right.
stuff.
You should get a reward. What should you get? What should I reward you for doing this? Should I Venmo you like a penny?
A Stanley nickel?
I'll Venmo you a Stanley nickel for every single one you get right.
Okay. Can I trade them in for Shroot Bucks?
Only if you get every one of them right.
Okay.
Yeah, because they have to equal it out. Okay, so that was number 1. Pumpkin Surprise, not a real band.
Like I said,
not
it's
even
a
during...
Starbucks drink. And the surprise is, you know, they have all those little shots of flavor.
Yeah.
They take a pumpkin spice latte and then
they spit in it. Yes, you're right. That's
yes, they spit in it.
The shot is
put
saliva.
A random flavor slider like maraschino cherry and peppermint. And that's the surprise.
Surprise. Yeah. Everyone likes surprises. All right. So that was number 1. All right. Number 2. Come at me, bro, with a sword.
Oh, that's got to be real. I actually went to their first concert. It was in an underground bar. It was in Sioux City, South Dakota.
Did you?
And, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And their lead singer, Jimmy, he actually had 2 first names. It was the weirdest thing in the world. Yeah,
wow.
He was quite the character.
Okay.
All he did was stand on stage and just shout at the audience.
Wow, did he just shout Jimmy, like his name?
No, he just shouted for them to come at him.
Oh, okay. That's right, because he had a sword. Well,
yeah.
Well, right. Okay, so what kind of genre is this?
Oh, this is New Age.
It's New Age? Okay, so what are some of the titles of their songs?
It's just all come at me, bro. I have a sword.
Bro, with a sword. That's it. That's all the
every
titles.
single song.
And on their album, it's just different punctuation. It's come at me, comma, bro with a sword. Then come, comma, at me, bro with a sword. Come at me, bro, comma, with a sword.
It's actually pretty deep. I think he was the second place for the Pulitzer in 2017, I think.
I think I think you're right. Yeah, 2017. That was yep. It was in that year. Well, just like that year does not exist, neither does this band. So,
Oh, no.
not to ruin your credibility, but it must have been a dream. It must have been. But it sounds like a great idea. And I think maybe
Yeah.
if you decided to spearhead that off of your Bandcamp account, I think you might get some hits.
That's true.
Yeah,
we
but I
should,
liked your ideas. It was great.
I bet the
great.
domain name is available for very cheap.
Probably. Okay, so yes, I made that one up. All right, here's our next one. The number 3. I hastily apologize for my giant head.
I thought we were talking about bands, not things that I've told people.
I have sometimes I think I have a weird head.
I'm gonna say this can't be a band. Nah, no way. That's too mouthful. There's no way you could say that if you're being introduced, like you're about to go on stage. It
Yeah.
just doesn't have pizzazz.
It sounds like it's fake. It sounds like the announcer would be like, and I hastily apologize for my giant head. Everyone would go, okay, we accept. In the audience, you do
Right.
have a giant head. And we also, another clue is I am 99% certain that any of the bands that I picked would not use the word hastily.
True.
Because if
Yep.
you ask them what part of speech that is, I guarantee you they would not know.
I'm starting to think that all 11 of these are fake.
No.
Okay.
No. But no. But the first 3 were fake. Okay. Okay, number 4. Number 4 is, these are separate phrases, okay? And I'm going to put the space in there. Get owl. Fly owl. Kill owl.
Oh, that's real for sure.
Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
and that is, you know what? That's like a folk heavy metal combo. So I feel like it's heavy metal back, like you have your double pedaled bass drum, but then you have like a Joni a Mitchell. Wait, is that a person?
Joni Mitchell, she is a person.
Okay.
Yes, you're
you
right.
have her like on lead vocals, like singing about like sunshine and autumn rain and stuff,
Let's
but
see.
to just like a super grunge rock background.
Joni Mitchell, her real name is Roberta, and Joni is a stage name. She's a Canadian singer, and you're right, she is folk, pop, rock, and jazz.
There you
go. That's interesting about her. She let's see, she released quite a few albums. I don't know much about her, but yeah, she did a lot of interesting things with synthesizers, I guess. What would some of her songs be in
tell me.
this band of Get Owl, Fly Owl, Kill Owl?
You tell me.
Well, I mean, if this was a real band, because I'm not going to tell you yet, then I think that some of the songs might be things like a Vomit and Why It's Good, right? Chase the Mouse, I See the Mouse, that might be a good one. Or Spin Your Head Right Round, Baby, like a Exorcist.
Yeah, I do like that. Was actually in contention for the first song at a wedding recently I went to.
Oh yeah,
like that was going to be the first dance.
It would really turn heads.
It would.
Yeah. Well, apart from all of that, unfortunately, that band is not real, and I made that up as well. Although I'm pretty sure I based it on something that was called something similar to it. I based it on, let me see, where is it? Because I had fun making these up. Let's see. I based it off one that said get cape, wear cape, and fly.
Oh,
Which I thought was very endearing.
no capes.
No capes. No.
No capes.
Okay, that was number 4. Okay. Number 5. All right, so number 5 is stick men with ray guns.
Stick men with ray guns.
Real or fake?
I mean, my gut says real, but I'm going to say it's fake. And I'm going to say fake because it actually sounds like it's real. And that's why I say it's real, because it's actually fake.
That is a very confusing answer.
Well, that's my answer. Deal with it.
Okay. Well, you say it's fake because it's real, because it must be fake.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it is real. It is a real. They are an American punk rock band from Dallas, Texas. It comes. Let's see.
They were going to say their name was Brown Day because of all the, heat and desert and sand.
Right.
Take off a Green Day.
Right.
But that was already taken also.
It was already taken. Yeah. Brown Day. Well, that was that ensemble went in the toilet. But this band, the lead singer, his name is Bobby Sox, and SOXX. That was his name, and I assume
I'm sure he was never ridiculed in school.
No, probably not. And he had a great life. Yeah, his great life. He spent some time in prison and a mental hospital, and he died of liver failure due to acute alcoholism in 2000.
That's a roller coaster right
so
there.
So that's them. Well, I need to tell you, and you have to know, they release songs such as Christian Rat Attack.
Okay. That's good.
And an album entitled Some People Deserve to Suffer.
I feel like this was a troubled man.
Whatever gave you that idea? Especially because his name is Bobby Sox, and then his actual name was Bobby Glenn Calverley.
He was never even a Robert.
Nope, he's just a Bobby.
Oh.
Bobby?
Well.
Okay. Well, anyway, that was Stick Men with Ray Guns. So this is maybe a clip of what they sound like. Okay, so that was number 5. Okay, number 6. Ready for this one?
Yep.
Okay. The band, The First Person to See an Elephant.
Yeah, that's real. Let me tell you why.
All right.
Because I want it to be.
Were they the first people to see an elephant?
Well, the better question is, did that elephant remember them when they came back? And I'm going to say yes, because elephants don't forget.
It's true. They actually don't forget.
Which is also the Elephants band's name.
Oh, yeah.
The first time I saw that person. And then I remembered them.
Yeah.
And when I saw her face, I was a believer.
You were. But no. That band is called The First Person to See the Monkeys.
Oh, I guess I had a doubt in my mind.
Boo. So what style is this?
Yeah, I'm thinking like just a acoustic guitar duo. Just like some real nice, smooth, like you'd play it in a coffee shop.
Okay. Do you have any
ordering your pumpkin surprise?
Okay. Do you have any idea of what their songs would be?
I'm gonna say "Whistle While You Knit" is one. A breeze through many trees is another one.
Yeah.
And then their most popular song was "A Ripple in My Latte."
Wow. It's very coffee shop. Well, you're not right on the songs, but yes, they are real. They are a U.S. band, released in 2002 is when they released their first album. The album is entitled, I guess it's a self-titled album, The First Person to See an Elephant. Oh, wait, no. It's there's like some French name I'm not going to pronounce after it. I don't know why. But the style, they say, is shoegaze experimental.
I don't know what that means.
Nope, don't know. But their track list, I'll just tell you that there are songs on their track list, and 2 of them are over 15 minutes long. One is called We Are the Countries, and the other one, it's almost 13 minutes, called The General Feel of March 24th, 2001.
That's for the experimental.
And very specific. And then my other favorite one on this CD called Salty Women. So that is that band, and this is what they sound like. Okay, so the next one, that was number 6, yeah? Yeah.
Oh, we
Okay,
have
the
5
next
more
one.
to go. Oof.
Yeah.
I've been taking too long on these.
I know. Okay,
What
the
if we
next
did,
one.
like 3 more? Pick your favorite 3.
I can't do it. They're too good. Nope, you got to go fast. Okay, the next one.
Then we'll go
Okay.
fast.
Okay. This next one is called The Birds Are Spies.
Nope, not a
They
band.
report to the trees.
Nope, not a band.
Not a band?
Nope.
No?
Nope.
You don't think so?
Nope. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I don't have a reason why. I just know in my heart.
Well, you're wrong because they are a band, and they were formed in Oslo, and they only gave us 3 short years from 2004 to the 2007. Although they have a very oddly active, if sporadic, Facebook page, so you should go look for them. And it seems that this band is very paranoid. Not sure why, but that's just how they are, and they seem to fit into the genre of emo core.
I see.
Yeah. So this is what The Birds Are Spies, they report to the trees sounds like. Okay, next one. Okay, here goes. This band is called Congratulations on Your Decision to Become an Astronaut.
Let's take an audience poll.
Okay.
Audience listeners, what do you think?
Please call in with the number on the bottom of your screen.
Actually, if you just shout it loudly, we'll probably be able to hear you. So try that now.
Okay, I'm listening. Okay, what'd you get? That was a big return on that.
Yeah. I seem the audience overwhelmingly, I would say, surprisingly, overwhelmingly thinks it's a band. In fact, someone is even said that they know someone in that band. Which
really?
I find a little suspect. I feel like they might be lying.
Maybe. Well, I think what they are is confused because that is not a band, but I think they are actually thinking of the band. Congratulations on your decision to become a pilot, because that is a band.
Oh, okay.
See, that is a band.
That must have been it. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
like the motivational poster that I saw in elementary school said, not everyone can be an astronaut. And it showed a picture of French fries.
It's very demotivational. Yes. But some of their album is only $7, and their songs include things like when we were kids, we built a tree house from our neighbor's windows, and if you get far enough away, it looks like a giant eyeball. Mm-hmm. Or the great hit Charity Creeping Around Upstairs, page 265.
That just rolls off the tongue.
Yeah. Or the next one that's really a personal favorite, Why You Should Read Books That Don't Exist. I treasure that as one of the highlights of my collection. I really love it. Okay, so that was that one. Which one was that? That was number 8. Okay,
So I'm 8 for 8. Right?
You're exactly right.
Okay.
So you're going to get a Shroot book out of this if you keep it up. All right, number 9. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Abnormally Premature Aardvarks.
That sounds like something you just made up. In
Does
fact,
it?
Wasn't that the working title for one of your compositions?
Well, it was until I got sued almost by the band, because it is a band. And yeah, it is. What
kind of band are they, though? Do you know? Or are you going to speculate?
No, I don't know, because they released their first record in 1967. Mm-hmm. No idea why they named themselves what they are. Mm-hmm. And on their first LP,
if you had to guess,
I think it would be. Well, I think it would sound pretty new age, because I think it's just a bunch of aardvarks bumping together.
Yeah, possibly.
And I don't even know what a sound an aardvark makes. I imagine with that tongue it'd be sort of a sound, but I'm not sure.
Oh, like the Russian singers?
Sure, more like Patrick on the little. I think it's something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But there are 3 songs on that album are Why Do I Try? Well, To Help Me Get Along, and Girls in the Fields.
One of these things is not like the other.
Anyway,
Or maybe
so
it
that
is.
was So anyway, that was our aardvark band, or our premature aardvark band. All right, we have 2 more. All right, number 10. Ready?
Mhm.
Number 10. Let's get out of this terrible sandwich shop.
Oh, I feel that makes me sad, actually.
Oh,
Because I love a good sandwich, and few things are more disappointing than a bad sandwich. Like soggy bread, bad sandwich. Too much mustard, bad sandwich. Old nasty floppy pickles, bad sandwich.
Yeah.
So anytime that thought even crosses my mind of like going into a good deli and being disappointed, it just saddens me. So I don't even want to answer this one.
Oh, well, it is a band. They they are based out of Chicago. I think they call themselves Goof Pop.
Is it like ring pop?
I don't know, because that'd be really tasty. But Goof Pop. And they have a really easy abbreviation, LGOOTTSS.
Ah,
really
okay.
easy.
I think I've seen that on
Almost-
bracelets.
Me too. They're really huge. They go around your neck. Yeah.
Yep.
They're huge. Early 2000s, but they are indie pop.
Okay, that's a generic way of saying we don't know what we are.
Yep. So, and their first album was called Listen. Not self-promotion at all, though. Okay.
Like, it'd be pretty hard just to watch an album. I mean, you would be kind of missing something, I feel.
And I believe that their first album had a man with an axe who kind of looks like a balding Dwight Schrute with like a leather jacket and an axe. Anyway, okay, so that was number 10. All right, our last one. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
This last one is called Konami Code for Ninjas.
Oh, that's real. And that's K-pop. That's a K-pop band. It's got like 7 people, and they all dance in sync. And they do the Konami code. Like their dance moves are the Konami code.
It's like DDR, down,
Yes.
down, or up,
Yeah.
up, down, down, left, right,
And
right.
some of their songs are like
B,
Big
A,
Head
start.
Mode, Unlimited Lives,
Oh.
and one of my favorites, No Clip.
Wow. I believe you're right. It could be a K-pop band. That's not actually the name of the band because I made it up. But there is a band entitled Up, Up, Down, Down, Left, Right, B, A, Start. There is. And this is a New Jersey band that is the Konami code that were last active in 2008. But they're pretty self-deprecating because their first album in 2007 released was called Worst Band Name Ever.
Well, that's just sad.
Yeah, and this is what they sound like. So, that was our game. I hope you learned something.
No, actually, I knew everything already. But I hope our audience
true.
learned something.
I hope they did, and I hope they maybe went and looked up some interesting music that they weren't aware of that existed, and maybe they found a new genre that they'd really love, like goof pop or emo core.
And, in these times of distance learning, we can spend more time listening to music. And I think if you find something you like, this is a perfect opportunity to introduce it to other musicians
Like
and
us.
to get inspiration. So listen away, share away, and knowledge is power.
And I think that concludes our episode of the Complete Musician podcast on very serious distance learning and a fun game. If you want to get in contact with us, we have an email at cormotohorn@gmail.com. Please subscribe to us on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to our page on Facebook. We have lots of content that we're going to put out soon. We also just put up a video of our latest recital that we did at Columbus State University, a little promo video that you can go and listen to all of our new music if you're interested in getting in contact with us.
And in seriousness, take care of your health. Make sure you practice good, safe hygiene. And we'll probably do an actual podcast on legitimate answers for these questions at some point, because it's a very topical and relevant thing. And as inconvenient as this all seems initially, it's a really exciting time, I think, to incorporate technology into our teaching. and to provide the students with the different forms of representation and learning styles. So thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye.